Hello everyone, so welcome to our third video of the course Decrypt It This Way. So in this course we have been looking the strategy used by toppers to crack the UPSC NDA examination. So we have done two videos before. In that videos we have discussed the strategy used by the toppers for cracking mathematics and English in the NDA examination. So in this video we will be looking how the toppers studied and approached the subject of physics for the UPSC NDA examination, and this video is brought to you by Decrypt NDA, and we are having a Telegram group. Do join our group using this link, and in the group we are providing daily previous year questions, daily current affairs updates, and lot of discussions regarding National Defence Academy examination interview, and you can also clear all your doubts in the doubt clearance desk of Decrypt NDA. So I will introduce myself. I am Rajkumar TM. I have cracked the NDA written exam twice, and I was recommended as an Air Force cadet from 2 AFSB Mysore, and I have cleared PABT, and I was under training in the National Defence Academy in the 127th batch. So moving on to the video, you must be knowing the NDA written examination consists of two papers. One is mathematics, another is general ability test. So we have done about a video on mathematics. It was your first video of this course. You can find it in our YouTube channel. So going to general ability test, it consists of 150 questions and the maximum mark is 600. That means per question you will be having 4 marks if you get it right, and the time is 150 minutes or 2.5 hours, and you need a minimum of 150 mark, that is 25% of 600 to qualify in the examination. So out of 600 marks, I have told you before that the English is for 200 marks, and the subject that we are dealing today, the physics, is for 100 marks. Okay, and for general ability test, for every wrong answer you make, you will be losing 1/3 of 4 mark as a penalty for your wrong choosing of the options. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So this is the previous year cutoff analysis of last 5 years. If we analyze this cutoff, you can find that for the last 5 years, the NDA cutoff has been less than 350 marks. Okay, the cutoff has never raised the value of 350. That means you need less than 50% to get clear the NDA written examination. But to get into the merit list with the flying rank, you have to score more than that. Let's aim 450 marks, a minimum of 450 marks out of 900. That means the correct 50% of 900. Okay, so for maths you should be aiming 150 out of 300, and for GAT you should be aiming 300 out of 600. So this should be the minimum mark you should aim for the written examination of National Defence Academy. So for physics, I told you it's coming for 100 marks in GAT, so you should be aiming for minimum of 50 if you are an average student of physics, or if you are very good at physics, you try scoring your maximum marks in physics. Okay, so moving on, the importance of physics in the NDA written examination is given here. So as I told, 100 out of 600 marks in GAT, that is 1/6 of the marks of the GAT is coming exclusively from the physics portion. Okay, and it is the third important subject after mathematics and English. Okay, because out of the total 900 marks of the NDA written examination, mathematics you have for 300 marks, English you have for 200 marks, and the next is physics that you have for 100 marks. So that makes the third important subject of National Defence Academy examination. And the important thing is, it will be easy for you to score in physics because you are people who have just completed or going to complete the 11th and 12th standard. So the physics, the questions asked in the NDA examination from physics will be basically from your 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th NCERT textbooks. That means it will be easy for you to score good marks in physics compared to other GAT subjects. Okay, so moving on, this is the topics in physics from which frequently questions are asked for the National Defence Academy examination. So if you look at the topics, you can find out that these topics are very much familiar to you from your class 12 syllabus. Okay, the topics are physical properties of matter, motion, friction, force, velocity and momentum, work, energy, power, pressure and volume, gravitation, magnetism, heat, optics, current electricity, thermodynamics, working principles of some equipments, and some other miscellaneous topics. Okay, so I will tell which all topics are coming under as subtopics. Okay, so in motion you will be dealing with the Newton's law of motion, your motion in one dimension, motion in two dimension, projectile motion, circular motion, etc. And in the case of physical properties of state and matter, you will be studying the basic of physics like mass, weight, density, etc. And in the case of friction, you will be studying about the frictional force, kinetic frictional force, static frictional force, etc. And in the case of force, velocity and momentum, you will be studying about conservation of momentum, non-conservation of forces, the basic principles of momentum, velocity, force, etc. And in the case of pressure and volume, you will be learning the basic of physics such as pressure, volume, the Archimedes principle. Okay. In the case of gravitation, you will be studying about the Newton's law of gravitation, specific gravity, gravitational potential, Kepler's law of planetary motion, etc. In the case of magnetism, you will be studying about the magnetic properties, Earth as a magnet, okay, some magnetic formulas. All these topics are coming directly from your 11th and 12th syllabus. Okay, from heat, the specific heat, heat capacity, heat transfer, latent heat. In the case of optics, you will be studying about light propagation, lenses, mirrors, human eye. Okay, and in the chapter of current electricity, you will be studying about electric circuits, conductors, Ohm's law. Okay, and in the case of thermodynamics, your laws of thermodynamics, isobaric process, isochoric process, adiabatic process, etc. And in the working principle, you have to look at some working principles of some equipment such as microscope, telescope, periscope, these simple, common, general equipments. Okay, and some miscellaneous topics, that is cells, that battery cells, X-rays, sound waves, etc. So you need not worry seeing all these topics, because all these things you have studied in your 11th and 12th. You just need to brush up all these things. Okay, and you have to prepare it for a competitive exam model. So how to prepare? So for your 11th and 12th, you are not writing a competitive exam. You will be writing, if you are getting 80% marks, means that's good. But for a competitive exam, you need to compete with the others, and there will be only 100 or a limited number of seats, and you have to be in the top positions to get into that seats. Okay, so if you are considering taking this physics into a competitive level, we will divide these topics into three. In the case of National Defence Academy examination, the physics subjects can be divided into these three. I have divided the subject into red category, orange category, and yellow category. Okay, I have divided the topics into red, orange, and yellow, and I have given the priorities for each topics of the physics by the number of questions asked every year and the number of marks that are coming from that particular topic. Okay, so the topics under the red category is our first priority. It includes topics such as motion in 1D, 2D, 3D, etc., work energy principles, electricity and magnetism, electricity circuits, magnetic properties, etc., and heat and thermodynamics. These are your red category topics, or your first priority topics, because most of the questions are coming from these topics. Okay, majority of questions. I told you 100 marks are asked from physics every year, and 100 marks means for every question you will be having 4 marks. That means 25 questions are asked. So you should study these topics very, very well to make sure that you score good marks out of these 100. And second priority is our orange category. Okay, it contains topics such as optics, gravitation, force, velocity, and friction. Okay, so most number of questions are asked from red category, and the second number of questions are asked from orange category. Okay, and the third category is the yellow category. That is your third priority. It contains topics such as mass and weight, pressure and volume, and working principles, and others. This means that the third priority, or the yellow category, it doesn't mean that it is not important. It is also important, but the number of questions asked from these topics are very, very low compared to the red category and the orange category. Okay, suppose you are having 25 questions, almost 13 questions are asked from these topics. Okay, I will write it here. 13 questions are asked from the red category every year. Okay, and almost 8 questions are asked from the orange category every year. Okay, and the remaining only 4 to 5 questions are asked only from the yellow category. This is not a usual trend of UPSC, but if you take a general trend from the 5 years, we can find an average numbers as 13 from these topics and 8 from these topics and 4 from these topics. So you should be prioritizing your study. You should be giving more focus on the red category subjects, then to the orange category, then to the yellow category. Okay, so this is how the topics has to be divided for a UPSC point of view or the NDA point of view for physics. Okay, so how should you study these topics? What should be approach? Okay, we will discuss about that. So decrypt it this way. This is how you should be decrypting the toughness of the physics exam for the UPSC NDA exam. Okay, so most of the candidates, they try to mug up the physics facts from a guide which is available in the market. So they think that it is enough for them, that the notes given in the guides are enough for them for cracking the exam. This is not true. For every UPSC exam, including the National Defence Academy exam, the major or the Bible or the basic textbook is the NCERT. So for physics, if you want to score good marks in physics for the NDA examination, you should have read the NCERT textbooks thoroughly. And not only 11th and 12th, you try reading 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Because 9th and 10th will be easier for you to read as you have completed the 12th standard. Okay, so read the NCERT textbooks of 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th very thoroughly. It's the most important thing for physics preparation in the NDA examination. Okay, you should read the NCERT thoroughly, and along with that you should make chapter wise crisp notes. Okay, you don't make elaborated notes, just make crisp tailored notes, so that you can easily, when you read that topic, you can easily remember the topics which you have studied in the chapter. So make chapter wise crisp notes. Okay, along with that you should make another formula capsule. So in physics you have to do some problems, okay, some equations you have to study. So you have to write down these equations and formulas in a book. It should be divided chapter wise. So it is called your formula capsule. So whenever you are going for the exam, or when you are sitting free, you just simply go through this formula capsule, so that you keep on revising the formulas and equations in your brain again and again, so it gets stored there and you won't forget such formulas and equations during your exam. And the next step is, you have to, after you have studied, you have done all these, you have to do the previous year questions and get familiar with the UPSC mode of asking in the physics. So do previous year questions and do some practice questions. So you should complete every previous year question asked from almost say last 5 years. That means last 10 question papers of National Defence Academy, you have to finish doing it. And after that you try do some practice questions from some guides or textbooks, and after that you have to revise. Okay, while revising, you may just go through the important part of NCERT textbooks, but you should be keeping your chapter wise notes along with you while revising, and also the formula capsule. So this is how you should decrypt the physics exam for National Defence Academy. Okay, so a very important factor, don't skip reading NCERT. Okay, and don't keep making formula capsule. Okay, I hope you liked the video. So this video was brought to you by Decrypt NDA. So do join our Telegram channel for more information, for more quizzes and more strategies and tips for the National Defence Academy examination. Do subscribe our channel. We'll be doing more videos on each and every subject, the strategy which you should keep in mind for studying each and every subject. Okay, it's not like your 11th or 12th. This is a competitive exam. You need a separate strategy to easily crack the examination. We will be also considering doing some class videos regarding different subjects of UPSC NDA examination. So thank you.